Today we're going to be using my Talens Sketchbook again and that 48-piece Honolulu bee markers. And we're going to be trying to draw some Christmas lights and a tree in a bokeh style. First, we're going to just draw these round circles all over the page, various shapes, sizes, different colors, overlapping. And I started with the lightest of the yellow and a pink, a blue, and a green. And then I just made some dots on the page randomly. I didn't follow the picture that I had chosen exactly. I just used it for inspiration to get that effect of these bokeh lights. And well, that's pretty much it. You just draw circles, you pick out these 3-4 colors of light. You could also just do 2 colors if you wanted, or just the traditional colors of like a red and a blue and a yellow. But I wanted to have multi-lights to give a bit more interest to it. So I just drew these circles all over the page. Colored them in. Yes, this page is going to take up a lot of alcohol ink, but it's for fun, and it was a really great experiment to do. And it was neat to see how the colors changed and reacted when you overlaid them onto other colors. As alcohol markers are transparent, you do get a blending. Even if the other color is dry, these markers are very juicy, so it did wetten the underlaying layer, so then you kind of did get like a true mixing of the colors. And yeah, made some small dots, bigger dots, overlapped some more. I did try to space out the colors so that it was sort of random, but not fully random. But I didn't try to make it so that it was very staged and very stiff. I tried to keep it very loose and just picked a spot and colored a circle in, and then picked another spot on the page, colored a circle in, and yeah, just went from there and kept on coloring and making these dots all over the page. This paper is not made for markers, but it does really well at holding them up. And yeah, that was pretty much it for the circles, the dots, the lights, the bokehness. And now for the massive background, which will be in solid green, I went with a slightly darker green than the green lights. And then I just started going around every single one of those bulbs or circles or spheres and filling in the background. It will be very, very streaky, but that's okay, because we're going to go in with like 2 or 3 more layers of different colors of green to get that darkened effect and that dark background and pull these lights really to the foreground. This was the most time-consuming part of this whole project, because it takes a lot of patience to go around the circles, try not to have it bleed too much over onto those circles. And then it was just pretty much fill in and then not care that it was being streaky. Don't worry about it. It'll all work out in the end. You gotta trust the process. And I just kept filling in that background. And you can see the page is starting to buckle a little bit because it is so saturated with the marker. But that's okay. You just keep filling in that background, and then you just keep drawing along, filling in the circles, filling in the gaps in between. I used only the brush tip, I believe, for the majority of this. At the very end, I did use that fine point to do some edges, but I pretty much just used that brush end. And yes, that is more juicy, and you do get a lot more of that alcohol ink on the paper, but just go for it, give it a try, and it's really a lot of fun. And I for sure had that plastic sleeve in between. Otherwise, I think almost as much as alcohol ink I used on this page would have soaked through at least 2 or 3 pages, because I sure did coat it in the end. If you give this a try, please say so in the comments. I'd like to know if anyone else tries this in a similar sketchbook or in your own sketchbook, or even on marker paper. This could work out well. You'll probably use a lot less ink on marker paper, and you'll have a bit more of a softness than what I achieved here. And as we're almost done filling in that full green of the background, then starts the second layer of the green, which is a bit of a medium, slightly darker green than what I currently used here. And I just did like these squiggly squibble lines around it just to give it some depth, and so that it wasn't just a perfect solid green background. This also was very time consuming because you got to go around the circles, try not to touch the circles, yet to do this scribbling and going in between everything. Yeah, and that's what I did. As you can see, it's well, it was a lot of fun. It was very relaxing for sure. You didn't have to think about anything. You just scribbled some lines and filled the page. And then I took another green color. Oh yeah, this was the original color I used for the background. And then I did also some squiggle lines all over what I just did to blend that out. And I just kept filling a page and trying to get that all blended out a bit more. And then I just kept going with that as well. Also, this took the longest part, was doing this background. Doing the dots and the circles was done like in 15-20 minutes max. It was the background that took forever. That was like a good 45 minutes, I want to say. Trying to get that background all filled in, blending it out, darkening it up, and just keep going over it. Keep squibbling the lines and blending it. And now I'm taking the very light green color that I used for the green lights and going over it, because this one is so much lighter of a color. It has more alcohol than dye. So it'll lighten up some areas and give you a bit more depth. And now I took the colors blender and I went around the edges of the lights to soften them up a bit, because with that green and all of a sudden they became very hard edges and they didn't look soft and glowy anymore. So I ran around all the lights and lightened up the edges, and you can see on some of them it made quite a dramatic effect. And then on all of the lights I took the fine liner and I took one shade darker color and went around every single light. Some I did the full perimeter, some I left gaps so that it looked like the other light was on top of it. And then so you create like this layering effect. So some are on top, some are below the other lights, and just kept going around. And then also after I had done this, I then went back around with the colors blender to soften up that edge, because it became quite hard, as you can see. And again, these are supposed to be lights and we're trying to do like a bokeh effect. So then I just that colorless blender worked really well at bleaching it out, because it is just pure alcohol from what I know, so that you get that a bit more soft edge. I then took another bluish green color and went around some more and trying to get rid of more of that scribble look, and doing some more scribbles to fill it in. And this worked really well, layering it up with this third blue-green color. I don't remember what color it is. At the end, I show all the colors that I used to make this drawing. And just kept scribbling it in. And I love alcohol markers because the longer it sits on the paper, it more like mixes together. And then today I'm looking at it and it looks even more soft than what it does at the end of the video here. I feel like it just keeps getting softer and it keeps mixing. It's like I had so much alcohol on that paper that it took an hour or something to dry before it actually started looking like I had in my mind. I did go over the lights again with that original color to darken some of them up, because some of them had faded a little too much. I thought they looked almost a little too whited out, so I added some more color back into some of them, not all of them, so that some of them look like they're in the distance, some look like they're in the foreground and the background. And then I took my Polychromos white pencil and added some like white shine or white reflection to the lights. And then I smeared it out with my finger just so that it was a bit softer. These are all the colors that I used. including the colorless blender. And it's already time to sign this bad boy, and it's the end of the video already. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a Christmas emoji down below, a Christmas tree, Christmas balls, red and light circles, whatever you find fun to add to the comment section. And I want to wish everyone a happy holidays, and I'll see you in the next one, guys. Bye!